Hey guys, before I start the podcast, a quick introduction. My name is Varnit and I'm the founder of Pet Excel Marketing. Pet Excel Marketing is a marketing agency that specifically works with pet businesses. Over the years, we have worked with pet food brand, pet relocation businesses, pet SaaS companies, pet clothing brand, cat food businesses, dog grooming services, and many other product and service-based pet businesses globally. Our services includes everything from creating graphics to running your ad campaign. Not only that, we have built amazing websites and apps for pet businesses. So if you have a pet business and would like us to help grow it, click on the first link in the description to book a call with our team. Now enjoy the podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Pet Brand Podcast. I'm your host Varnit, and today we are diving into the world of pet tech, a booming industry that's changing the way we care for our pets. Our guest is someone who has truly made waves in the pet tech world. Juuso Kaari is the visionary behind Digital Dogsitter, an innovative app designed to help pet parents manage separation anxiety and monitor their dogs remotely. As a designer with a background in music, Yuso brings a unique perspective to the pet tech industry, and we will get to hear all about his journey, the challenges he faced, and what the future holds for the industry. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's get started with this conversation. Welcome to the show, Yuso. It's such a pleasure to have you on.
Well, thank you so much for it. Thanks for having me. And thanks for the great intro.
Uh,
Excited to be here.
Yep. Amazing, amazing. Uh, so yeah, let's get started with a let's start with a little background for those who may not be familiar with you. Could you share your journey into the world of pet tech? What inspired you to merge your passion for pets with technology?
Great opener. Well, I think my path for the whole pet tech industry or pet industry
Mm,
altogether was not really like a planned one because I was like a professional animator and
wow.
a lot of like visual stuff back in
Hmm.
the day, and kind of like stepped into the entrepreneurial world with that skill
Hmm.
set.
Hmm.
But then actually my dog back then had a surprisingly serious issues with being alone after
Yeah.
we moved
Yeah.
to another apartment.
Hmm.
And then, well, basically, like, long story short, I really got to know the problem. I really got to know the possible like solutions, and was not really like happy with the current tools and solutions, how to tackle separation anxiety,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was kind of the entry point for
Mhm.
for me and the team to start developing digital docs here.
Definitely. And also it's clear that your own dog, Voldemort, like played a big role in shaping
Yeah,
what we know as digital oxygen, right? So like
yeah.
could you walk us through how his separation anxiety became the catalyst to, the app creation?
Yeah, that's a um, great question, and not that easy to put in a short form.
Yeah.
But I think like the craziest one that I really want to remind all the dog owners that we had no clue about the whole problem being a
Okay.
problem for us
Mm.
before our neighbors called the police.
Okay.
so it actually got really bad
Uh-huh.
before we had any idea. Of course, like well the there might have been some other ways to handle the situation
Yeah.
with the neighbors,
Uh-huh.
of course. But I think like yeah,
Uh-huh.
we had that kind of neighbors back then,
Mm.
who really didn't tell us about the issue, but they told the police. So yeah, basically it was a shock, total shock. We really were not like prepared for that, and we had no idea that our dog could be the one to have any separation issues. So
Mm.
um, yeah, there it all began.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. And behind every great product is a dedicated team, right? So like can you
Yeah,
introduce us to the key members of your team and explain the roles they play in making digital dog a reality?
yeah. Well, I'm the CEO wearing
Okay.
almost all the hats
Mhm.
once in a while. And then we have our CTO, Eero, who's basically the hardcore tech guy,
Yeah.
um, like putting together all the hardest technological things and orchestrating the whole
Okay.
tech
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
And then we also have like our dog whisperer, or like the uh, like I would say she's like the trainer of all trainers, at least here in Finland, about
Okay.
the separation training
Uh-huh.
things. So she's in the team to basically making sure that we are basing all of our doings in the actual like
Hmm.
behavioral
Yeah.
research and
Hmm. Hmm.
the most like the top tier separation anxiety
Hmm.
research and science, rather than just like guessing things. So
Hmm.
that's kind of the core team, and then we also have plenty of we have plenty of other trainers and plenty of other uh, basically just like a network of freelancers and like
Hmm.
other um,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not full-time team members helping us to make this happen, but
Definitely. Yeah. And for pet parents who are curious about what Digital Dogsitter is all about, right? So could
yeah,
you describe the app, like how it addresses the everyday challenges pet owners face?
yeah, really really good and concrete
Mm.
question. Basically, what we do is we turn your laptop into a really really great dog camera.
Okay.
To first of all, you get to know like your dog way better. You know what's up when he or she is alone.
Yeah.
And then we also have like plenty of other like tools and features inside the app to
Yeah.
basically hold your hand through the whole process of separation anxiety training.
Hmm.
So I'm starting from the like, just like self-diagnosing the problem, like what's actually happening and
Hmm.
why,
Hmm.
because there's plenty of different reasons for different symptoms, and that might be a challenge for anybody
Yeah.
not really in the separation anxiety
Hmm.
um, space to figure those out on their own. So yeah, we start from the square one
Yeah.
to help the dog owner, dog
Yeah.
parent
Hmm.
to like figure out and know the
Hmm.
issue, what they have in hand, and
Hmm.
then go forward from there. But basically, we the core of Digital Dogsitter is definitely the monitoring, so that you have like real-time monitoring plus the really kind of like
Hmm.
really advanced recording options and the reports and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's just like
Hmm.
way more advanced than just having a Wi-Fi home
Yeah.
camera recording your dog. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah,
core of it.
definitely, definitely. And also there are other, dog monitoring devices and apps in
Yeah.
the market. So what do you think? What do you think? What's Digital Dog Sitter like? How does it stand out among all the options that's available in the market?
Yeah, I think just simply like drilling down to the problem itself,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and really like uh, niching out to separation anxiety and really helping with the issue and not just recording your dog.
Yeah, got it, got it. And also, like talking about the success stories. So, do you have any memorable success stories from users who have found Digital Dog Sitter especially
Yeah,
helpful? Like, what impact has it had on their lives?
yeah, plenty. And
Hmm.
I think that that's really I think that's definitely the best thing
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
in the business,
Hmm.
for us. As yeah, there's been plenty of like
Yeah.
really really severe difficult situations with dog parents with their dogs having even having like some other like not really separation related
Mm-hmm.
um, um, like diseases or and like other challenges to make the separation training like way harder because that's actually fairly common that separation anxiety ties together or separation anxiety and related separation related problems
Yeah.
are usually also like tied together with some other health issues. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
for example, some like just from the top of my head, a dog with like severe epilepsy. I'm not
Okay.
sure I'm pronouncing it right, but
Yeah.
epilepsy,
Mm-hmm.
who had like really terrible problems being alone, and like the whole epilepsy and the anxiety went just like out of the roof
Wow. Mm-hmm.
when being alone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they were really like basically giving up on the dog already. So um, it kind of like those kind of mm, uh, like stories and feedback from the owners that they actually had no hope left in the
Yeah. Yeah.
situation,
Mm.
and
And
then
helping them
like
to get through that,
yeah
that's a big
yeah
achievement for you. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
And actually going back to the previous question also about the what digital dogsitter is. One
Mm.
big part actually inside digital dogsitter, not definitely something that everybody uses, but one big aspect and one of the core features that
Yeah.
we built the whole idea on is this like automated voice response to the dog
Okay.
using the owner's own voice.
Okay.
So that's something that uh, plenty of our users have been using really effectively,
Uh,
and that's something that we also have been doing like a separate research on, like using owner's own voice
mm.
as an
Okay.
automated response, like
Mm.
remotely to the
Yeah.
dog
Mm-hmm.
when digital dog sitter is like getting the first signals of
Mm.
the anxiety rising. So
Mm.
whether it's like maybe it's like 5 minutes
Yeah.
or already like 30 minutes or hour into the
Uh-huh.
separation or
Uh-huh.
like being alone, and
Uh-huh.
then the dog, for example, have been sleeping, but
Uh-huh.
then wakes up and gets really anxious because that's also
Yeah. Yeah.
fairly like um, in some cases that's fairly common.
Mm-hmm.
So just like getting the intervention like at the exactly right time using the owner's own voice to calm the dog down
Uh,
is really key in many
wow.
um,
Mhm. And
cases. So
I think no one in the market they doesn't have the feature, right? Other
yeah, I think so. Yeah, and
mm,
that's fairly mm, that's really powerful, I'd say. But
yeah,
something that we are really careful also not to tell everybody use right away because it's really like it's fairly powerful feature.
yeah.
But we have also like proper uh, like tutoring and like kind of like guiding our users to use the feature right
Okay,
because
okay.
you actually
Hmm.
can use it like
Hmm.
in a wrong way.
Yeah,
Sort of thing. Like
definitely. And talking about that, like in today's digital age, data security is paramount, right? So, like, how
ooh,
does Digital Dog Sitter ensure the privacy and safety of its users' data?
yeah, well, that's a huge question, or like huge aspect of our business, of course, because we like technically we do like surveillance camera software, which is fairly like heavy on the security side.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, definitely it's just like encryption, like top tier security on the servers, and you know, I think like that's something also like uh uh the part of the security is not really like explaining the whole security system in a in a public podcast, but yeah,
Hmm.
you can just like take my word.
Great, amazing, amazing. And as
Yeah.
technology becomes more interconnected, so like, can
Mhm.
digital dog sitter integrate with other smart home devices or pet tech tools? Like, how does
Great,
this enhance the
great.
experience?
Yeah, great question. I think what's well, and the question is actually more and more um, important. Like I'd say, like year by year, the especially like the whole home camera things have been like just like exploding.
Yeah.
And uh, And yeah, we basically have been working on that already, and we
Okay.
have some of our users already using like some integrations with those like home cameras that they have
Mm.
already set up in their
Okay.
homes, but want to use digital dog sitter as like a on top of that,
Yeah.
so they can have like the just like the hardware from the camera
Yeah.
that they have,
Yeah.
but then they
Mhm.
want to use the more advanced features of digital dog sitter.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's possible to combine those depending on the manufacturer of, for
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
a
Mm.
Wi-Fi camera, but it's not really like plug and play still.
Yeah,
So or
definitely.
yet, yeah.
Mhm.
So we actually we have a for a couple of the manufacturers, we have a like a guide that yeah here's how to plug the camera together with digital dog sitter, but it's still kind of like a nerdy thing to do. So
Mhm.
it's
Yeah. I
something
mean,
that
like, people
yeah
need the
you
guidance to do it. It's not like anybody can.
yeah, and some like technical
Yeah,
knowledge, I'd
technique.
say. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also, creating a tech product isn't like without it's challenging, right? So like, what
Mm.
were the biggest hurdles you guys faced when while developing Digital Dogsitter, and like, how did you overcome them?
Great question. I think definitely one of the biggest technical challenges have been just to overcome the need of recording hours of video
Yeah.
securely
Mm.
and playing it back remotely in multiple devices and
Yeah.
locations wherever the users wanna check on their dog,
Uh-huh.
and also like having hours of video, but not having to look through hours of video. That
Uh-huh.
I think that's been the one of the core challenges, and also like huge part of the like the kind of like a unique selling point of digital Dogsitter as well, that we really have put a lot of time and effort into making like the longer periods
Yeah.
of alone time to be, you know, digestible for the dog parent
Mm.
to
Mm.
actually check
Yeah.
fast enough and easy
Mhm.
enough. So
Mm.
yeah,
Definitely.
I think that's the definitely one of the most challenging
Mm.
parts,
Mhm.
and also just because as one of the kind of the core philosophies in our business have been that we don't want to have like more devices.
Yeah.
We just want to, I think in plenty of countries there is just like enough devices already and enough,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
hardware
Mm.
and let's just try to um, like let's just try to use what we have already and not really like try to fill the
Yeah.
world up with more and more devices.
Mm.
So that's one core aspect, and that makes us of course mm, tackle challenges in
Mhm.
tens or hundreds of different devices and
Wow.
different systems. So
Mm.
having the software to run smoothly on basically all the devices that our users have in hand, that's
Mm.
been also like a bit of challenge. But yeah, definitely a
Mhm.
lot of work is already done on that. So
And it's like you started back in 2014, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, a long time ago. And
It's been a
actually,
long
it was
time.
it was just like a free product for quite a while. So we didn't really start to build a business right away. So
Uh-huh.
it was a kind of like a hobby.
Initially, it was free.
Yeah, it was free and
Okay.
it was totally like a hobby project on the side. And
Uh-huh.
then just like I'd say something like 5 years ago, we kind of like
Hmm.
uh dived deeper into actually building this as we just like noticed like yeah, that's just something definitely needed, and there's plenty of things we could like enhance in the lives of separation anxiety dog
Yeah.
owners. So
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. And like looking back, is there anything you wish you would known before embarking on the journey of building Digital Dogsitter? Like any lesson learned you along the way, or you thought that maybe I shouldn't have done that or should have done that?
well, I think like personally, I think the like I shouldn't have done that is kind of like a something that I personally as a human being try
Uh-huh.
to avoid.
Not to think, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not to think like that, because of course, like it's all learning new things. But
Yeah.
I think like one of the biggest things, as mentioned, like uh, we started this as a hobby with my CTO, the
Hmm.
technological partner, um, but we didn't have the dog professional on board. So
Okay.
we were just like two random guys building software.
Yeah. Mm.
And basically it was like two guys building software based on the really like personal, experiences and beliefs of the other as a dog owner and their
Mm.
challenges with the separation anxiety. Of
Mhm.
course, that's something that I don't wanna, downplay. That of course,
Mhm.
like it's really, really good to have a personal personal experience on the challenge you are trying to solve. That's
Yeah.
huge value.
Mhm.
Um, but definitely like getting our Jenny, the dog professional, the actual dog professional,
Mhm.
on board and
Mhm.
getting her
Mhm.
insight on how we know how, or we have known quite a while like how software works, but actually Jenny has been really helpful
Yeah.
on
Mhm.
getting us on board how dog's mind works and
Yeah. Mhm.
how and why the separation issues actually
Mhm. Wow.
are you know uh like why dogs are separation anxious at all, like what's the
Mhm.
principles and mechanisms inside the
Mhm.
dog's
Mhm.
brain. So
Mhm.
I think that's the because and that's a funny thing that as we are building this software,
Yeah.
we basically have two tier user base. We
Okay.
have the humans, and then
Yeah.
we have the dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the most important, of course, are the dogs,
Yeah.
and the humans using the software are
Uh,
only kind of like a middleman,
yeah.
you know. So we really
Uh,
really need to
yeah.
know our
That's why you
like
needed the third partner to understand.
yeah, definitely we really need to know what's happening uh in the dog end, and
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Definitely. And also marketing is a key for any startup, right? So like what strategy did you use to market Digital Dog Sitter to your target audience and like make it stand out in the crowded pet tech space?
I think definitely what we have been uh doing, um maybe even a bit too much, is depending on the word of mouth at great product.
Yeah, definitely.
That's really I think that's still the key.
Mm.
And helping our existing users to um, like have a clear
Mm.
story to tell to
Yeah.
other dog owners.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and then also we've figured out that the separation anxiety it's not something that anybody wants or needs
Yeah. Hmm.
or desires
Yeah, yeah,
from the marketing point of view.
yeah.
So definitely the most important thing for us always have been like really on the marketing side is the search. So
Mm,
SEM is the king for us,
mm,
like by far, because that's how people are like finding
mm,
us through the
mm,
search. They have a problem and they search it and they
mm,
find us that way.
mm,
So
mm. So is it like specifically to your area, or like are you expanding globally to, like, your apps are being downloaded globally to? Is that something?
yeah, well, basically, we have a really like strong user base in Finland, where we are,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have the percentage numbers in my head right now currently, but we are growing like in other places as well, slowly but surely,
Mm-hmm.
and but still it's like the major business as is actually in Finland, as we just
Okay.
have like
Right.
the word of mouth is like
Um,
really strong here in,
yeah.
in, in Finland and getting to know
Uh,
us.
Definitely. And for
Yeah.
those aspiring to break into the pet tech industry, like, what advice would you give to them based on your own experience?
I think you really need to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think
hear this
like
answer from every single guest, like, hey, you need to be
yeah, and
passionate about pets first. All right.
yeah,
Are you passionate or
maybe not
not?
the yeah, maybe not the surprise
Yeah.
because I'd say like
Mhm.
I've um like looking at the pet industry as a whole, I think like everybody's somewhat passionate
Yeah.
about what they are doing and thinking about that from the I think the couple of things. Um, just the pure competition side. It's just like, if you're passionate on something, you probably gonna work hard.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if you're not, it's gonna be a bit of hard
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
And also, I think it's really important to have the personal experience and personal, you know, you need to be in it. You need to be in the scene
Yeah.
uh, to
Mm.
be able to talk to pet parents and to know the dogs, to know or other pets. So if somebody would try to fake it, I'd say it wouldn't fly.
Mhm. Mm. Definitely. And also talking more about the personal side of things, like working in the pet industry can be incredibly rewarding too. Like, what's been your favorite part of working in this field, especially with the digital dog setup?
Yeah, but I'd say definitely by far going back to the feedback of our users and
Yeah.
and and especially like as I have the background in the separation anxiety, like the personal experience
Mm-hmm.
of
You had.
having a dog with separation anxiety, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's like definitely
Mm-hmm.
like uh definitely one of the most stressful and horrible life experiences I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be somewhat hard to grasp if you haven't been
Yeah, if
there.
haven't experienced it, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So having that and then having the users telling how our software has changed their life, that they can now go to movies or grocery stores and they actually
Mm.
can now have a job. Like
Yeah.
what? So and that also like an option to now have a job when their dog is better
Mm.
is telling a lot about the you know the the love of the pet
Yeah,
parents. So
definitely. Mm. Mm.
yeah, the pets goes first.
Amazing. And looking ahead, like, how do you see the pet industry evolving in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what do you think?
Mhm.
What changes or innovation are going to come in future?
Great and interesting question. I think no industry in the world is will be untouched by the AI.
Mm.
I think that's gonna bring really new ways to think on pet business as well.
Mm.
Um, so I think that like all in all, I'd say AI will change a lot of
Yeah,
things.
yeah, definitely.
Not sure. I think nobody is really certain on how
Mm.
or what's it gonna bring into the table, but just like plenty of things, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I think like all the or I kind of hope that
Mm.
all the businesses and all the products and all this, especially software
Yeah,
will just get way better,
yeah,
like
yeah.
for the end users,
Mm.
for the
Definitely.
humans and the dogs. So yeah, that's the
Mm-hmm.
key aspect, and yeah,
Mm.
it's
And
hard to tell the details, but that's the big picture, I'd say.
yeah, 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 yeah. And also seeing the pet industry as a whole, like as the industry grow, are there any gaps or unmet needs that you believe, need more attention from innovators and creators?
I think the dog training uh in general,
Yeah,
that's like I've been following like there's still fairly large,
industry.
it's a really big industry, but also there's huge, differences that somebody would call like differences in, beliefs on what's gonna work for the dog.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think like there's just like an plenty of things that are not really, like science based.
Mm,
Plenty of like uh, you know video video lectures and courses, and also
mm,
like training
mm,
programs, and not to, really don't want to drop any names or,
mm,
like point any fingers.
yeah.
But I really hope that
Mm,
uh, we could get to more, like unified way of looking things, looking at
mm,
different like behavioral issues,
yeah.
eh, especially, and how to solve those. Because
Mm,
that I think we like as a humanity, I think we have made a really good progress already on that, but still we could I think we could do better
mm,
for the dogs.
yeah, yeah. And last question from my end, Yuso. If you had the chance to launch another product in the pet space, or maybe it a tech product or at anything, right? Maybe you're seeing the gap in the market and you think like this is something that can a product or service can fill. Like, so what would it be, and like why?
I think kind of like as a extension to the
Hmm.
previous question, I would love to have a, like a app in my phone that I could point it towards my dog, and
Okay.
and it would look through the camera
Mm.
and tell me why the dog is doing that,
Okay.
whatever he or
Okay.
she is doing.
Uh-huh.
Because if a dog is, misbehaving,
Yeah.
there's probably a
There's a
fairly
reason
logical
for that.
reason.
Yeah.
There's a
Mm.
logical reason for that.
Mm. Mm.
So I think that would like help a lot,
Mm.
you
And I
know.
think it is pretty much. I think it's pretty possible with the AI and the tools that are coming, right?
Yeah. I think at least just wait a couple of years, and I
Yeah,
think
I
somebody's
feel
gonna
like.
do that. At least in some way. You know, like it doesn't even have to be, super any like super
Super
intelligent.
advanced, yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be basically just the, AI understanding well enough
Hmm.
what's happening in a video feed,
Yeah.
and then having a database of just like knowledge on the dog's behavior all
Hmm.
in all. So yeah, maybe it's not so science fiction anymore,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. I mean, with the recent development, it doesn't look like that far away, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
great,
crazy.
great. So yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of today's episode, and a big thank you to Yusu Kari for joining us and sharing such valuable insight into the world of pet tech and digital dog sitter. Thank you so much for having here, first of all.
Thank you so much.
Great, great.
It was a pleasure.
Uh-huh. And to all our listeners, thank you for tuning into the episode of Pet Brand Podcast. Be sure to check out Digital Dogsitter and follow Yuso's journey. I will leave all the links in the description below. And yeah, until next time, keep innovative, making the world a better place for our pets.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks.